We are back again on here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, exclusive of the best tactical analysis show as on YouTube. Back to back updates at about Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Obviously, this morning already the two way there, bro. And I told you the guys did win huge our Fiifi-Manfred, and every day the odds at the Fiifi-Manfred Facebook, Fiifi-Manfred Twitter, Fiifi-Manfred YouTube in the description. Every day I put the odds over there. Nyame adama on channel in the Champions League set of games now. You need bro in on when you go to WhatsApp, so we call Facebook or Twitter, you have all of them odds now on Tuesday odds, on Wednesday, bro, Thursday, bro, all through to the weekend. Was in Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Two names are hard here. Yeah, more chance with debates. No, I enjoy when I was answering the best of analysis of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Like always, don't subscribe to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel near and then in some I need to go through for you. I need to get inside and analyze them for you. Let us waste no time. Chelsea made their best decision ever as a football club, and I'll tell you about it. The best decision Chelsea under Claire Lake for now. Of course, Chelsea former manager Graham Potter said a lot of things about Claire Lake and when he took the job as Chelsea manager. But there is a certain decision Todd Bowley Baghdad Bali did take that has proven to be the best decision that they have taken so far since Somaji Chelsea and Juma number 5 as new owners of the club. We'll talk into details about that. But before then, there have been a lot of things that has been going on in Spain, especially at Real Madrid. Sad news, and it's a Madrid had a comunicado oficial ebaye, and in that comunicado oficial no, it was clear Sabantia friend Vinicius Jr. and a muscle injury. In that muscle injury, Vinicius Jr. is going to be out for at least 3 weeks. Into Liverpool gamer Madrid, but this week in the Champions League, there isn't going to be Abantia, your friend Vinicius Jr. in their player who seemed to be very, very important for Abantia friend Carlo Ancelotti team, and Abantia friend Vinicius Jr. out. Vinicius expected to miss games at Liverpool, Getafe, Atletico de Bilbao, Girona, Atalanta, any Rayo Vallecano, Abantia friend Vinicius Jr. Mrs. Sam matches winner. Of course, and now also Barca Madrid match I want team my friend Leganes and Vinicius played more like a 9. He played more centrally. And I brought your friend Kylian Mbappe on the left. With Vinicius injured, it means that Mbappe still gets to play on the left-hand side consistently. And then maybe Rodrigo Goes on the right-hand side also. Then they find somebody. And now, so with your friend Carlo Ancelotti, the coach of Real Madrid, one of the things that he was clear and verbatim kept on saying, and it is something I've said several times. So I was saying, Madrid needed a creative passer. Proper creative passer. And they got it in Abantia friend Arda Güler. He was important in breaking the lines and controlling the game on the ball. I mean, sometimes when the ball is defender, you do that job with a creative passer. And Madrid did that job excellently well with Abantia, your friend Arda Güler in that regard. He played very, very well, dictated the pace of the game, controlled the game in terms of the creative point of view. And then Carlo Ancelotti said he was very, very impressed with Abantia, your friend of Vinicius Jr. Madrid. Eddie Anope in following 2-1. Following test carried out today on our player Vinicius Jr. He has been diagnosed with an injury in the femoral biceps in his left leg, meaning Sevilla is going to be out for 3 weeks, and Madrid are going to go to Anfield with our best player Nyame this week in the Champions League. Already Madrid are in a very, very dire situation. Our Champions League possible qualification rounds, automatic qualification rounds team, and they need to do a final Liverpool session before leaving for Madrid. Ibrahim Diaz or in there. Of course, Madrid injured list, not good enough for them. A lot of the players are getting ACLs. Man City struggling to get players fit. Real Madrid didn't say much. And I think that this is more reason why sometimes the decision for Todd Bowley more and Baghdad Bali to get a lot of players with high depth or Chelsea, you can understand, because look at the kind of injuries that teams to and they're struggling to get results in there. It looks as he said, these are some of the things that Todd Bowley and Baghdad Bali were sort of anticipating, and they made sure they were not only going to rely on only a few players. At Madrid, Carvajal ACL, Daniel Alaba still hasn't returned fully. Militao another ACL, Lucas Vasquez out from the team. Oriente, Chemeni out, Rodrigo Goes out, and of course Vinicius Jr. and I can listen home in terms of the list of injured players or Real Madrid. And then Abra Federico Valverde, every Madrid training grounds, he was met by some fans don't be sad about Vinicius Junior injury. Or say I didn't know. I thought it's a discomfort. What a pity. No, didn't say just an issue, a small issue for our bench friend Vinicius Junior. But of course, at the end of affected Vinicius Junior is going to be out for at least 3 weeks in there anytime that they want to play. Rodrigo Goes and Tchouameni alone and net still not fully back with the pack. Just in from Madrid, Ade Golem and Ibrahim Diaz are most likely to start options against Liverpool, obviously, because of the absence of Rodrigo Goes and in the absence of other Golentino. It is very clear. Maybe Endrick Ramirez can also play centrally. And of course, now on the other side, you have a bench friend Brahim Diaz, but Brahim can play centrally. Then you have Ada Gula as a creative passer from the right hand side to help in terms of the creativity for Liverpool for a very huge and mammoth game for Madrid going away to go and play at Anfield in that big one. On the list of the players that air travel for Madrid team, Thibaut Courtois, Andrea Lunin, Fran Gonzalez, Lucas Vasquez, Jesus Valario, Fran Garcia, Antonio Rudiger, Ferland Mendy, Raul Asensio, Jude Bellingham, Eduardo Camavinga, Federico Valverde, Luka Modric, Ada Gole, Dani Ceballos, Mbappe, Endrick, Brahim, and Gonzalo, and a list of players that air travel to Anfield to go and play in the Nyamiad Mochina game. Scheduled ahead of tomorrow's game. Tomorrow's scheduled ahead of Wednesday's game. Liverpool, any Madrid matching on Wednesday. And Madrid, be free. Spain, 10 o'clock, their time to get to Spain. Ancelotti press conference at 6 p.m. Nyamiadma. Ochina and at 6 and press conference number Koso and the final training session at Anfield and Sebe Koso. So Madrid are looking to bank on Kylian Mbappe on the right hand side to possibly build them out at Anfield. We wait to see how Mbappe really can step up in the absence of Abrantia, your friend of Vinicius Junior, but not a good sight. Not a good sight for Madrid. Say on injured list, and in fact, that Vinicius Junior injury happened. It was our match him against Leganes. It was around that time that Vinny started to feel discomfort. A test, and in the test, they found out Sabrante Vinicius Junior is going to be out for at least 3 weeks. Are on board about 6 different matches in the La Liga. Carlo Ancelotti consider Sabrante Kylian Mbappe on the left wing after Vinicius Junior injury. Obviously, that was going to be some of the main options for Sabrante your friend Carlo Ancelotti. In that game, Madrid away against Liverpool. Also, match now. Wait to see how that game pans out. For FC Barcelona this morning. I did tell you, said coach Hansi Flick, I'm a team no big one and set up a big reaction against team Brest in the Champions League. Wakachom said he's not going to take anything for granted. Our Champions League in Barca for BBL. They need to get a job done. Already, the pressure is beginning to mount on Barcelona. Not the injury record. On side, on my team service issue. Most of them players now are back. Madrid and they a lot of injury issues. Now away from that, Madrid seem to be closing down the points gap between Omo and Barcelona in the Spanish La Liga. And then of course, Hansi Flick said, and said, you cannot win a game just because your name is Barcelona. You can't score a goal just because you didn't hear Pedri. And I said, Gavi and Pedri, at 22 years of age, El Barca, they are looking to give him a contract extension for over 6 years, which is probably going to keep him throughout his peak as a player. Inti Barca are looking to keep our branch, your friend Pedri, Gonzalez, our team, your friend of Barcelona, and to keep him there and to make sure everything is fine. Our Mundo, I said, warning from Flick, warning on the money players now. And then in the lead up to the games, number one, telling them say they can't be complacent and think say because this season, really shape into they need to be very, very careful. Kevin De Bruyne has spoken of Manchester City issues in recent times. I'll say not particularly like a dark place when you're talking about what Man City have gone through, but essentially I'll say he has been very, very gloomy. Man City for in terms of the matches, summer ball, any the games, summer ball, or say hasn't been good at all. And or no, or one player say on the next game, this week games or more the matches are Aka everything is going to be war for Tima, your friend of Manchester City. Nyamiadoma on the 26th, Nyamiadoma China Spartak Prague, Ebetineshi Acheng Atletico de Madrid. Very, very tough game of Champions League Zvran Basleva, AC Milan will go away. Man City will against Feyenoord, they will feel Inter, will against RB Leipzig, Bayern Munich, any team from Paris Saint-Germain, Barca, any Brest, Young Boys, any Atalanta. Then there is going to be Bayern 04 Leverkusen, and in Salzburg, there's going to be Sporting CP, in Arsenal, or in Yami and Mochina games, which are going to be hugely tough games for them. Arsenal, in him saying Yami and Mochina, they need to go away and then go and get a win against Sporting CP, a very stubborn Sporting CP, or that second our league log. So Ruben Amorim Tino have done a good job, and Arsenal himself, it's a chance for them to get results away. Our sports in any Portugal, Yami and Mochina in the Champions League. Now, I was telling you, say Chelsea have made their best decision since Todd Bowley in Baghdad, but Egbali took over the job at Chelsea Football Club. Now, why am I saying this? Now, watch a Chelsea team now. There are about 3 different reasons that for me makes a lot of sense. And before that, and then former Chelsea manager, our friend Graham Potter, has been doing a lot of media rounds. In fact, for an interview that has come out, he speaks about say ABR at some point in time, Nisan Koji Chelsea Jumano. ABR Nankasa time Chelsea Jumano was too early for him. He should have probably waited because maybe the weight of the job was too much for him and everything probably wasn't going as well as he wanted it to be. So maybe he should have done better. Now, some of the things that he said, on the last Chelsea game, we lost to Aston Villa. That was the last game we lost. It was our final game. My assistant is friends with Unai, and Unai was like, you played well, push that back, and you didn't deserve to lose. But I think at the point, the owners, the pressure was that much, and the noise was that strong that I felt that we couldn't go on. Talking about Unai Emery, and OT. Of course, I'm going to read more about that interview now. Brantia, your friend Graham Potter, and Graham Potter on sitting here and now. I left Chelsea. Same time now, we free Chelsea. Chelsea result just skyrocketed through the table. I'm thinking, man, hang on a minute. There's something here. But Frank Lampard goes in, and it's not easy. You can see that Mauricio Pochettino had all the time in preseason to plan and all the preseason to work with the players. No Europe, and still took them a long time. These are top people, and this takes time to stabilize things. But in the meantime, if people have got an opinion of you that you are not too nice, you're not too good, you're just a Brighton coach, it's sort of the stuff. It's like that and written off pretty quickly. And like I said, I just have to deal with that and then move on. Talking about him, they didn't give him a lot of chance like that to succeed. Our Chelsea Football Club. Now, Graham Potter talk about the Chelsea owners. So say, I think because that's the ambition was so strong, they wanted to make some decisions themselves around recruitment. And as the head coach, I never got to Chelsea by being the guy that said, I want to be in control of everything. You are the owner. You are the guy that's responsible for the football club. If you want to do this, then my job is to support it in there. That's talking about Graham Potter, talking about recruitment. He goes on, interviewing a very long one. So maybe there's a mistake in terms of giving a proper thought. But at the end of the day, it's still Chelsea Football Club. It's still how they have been talking about it. I think you have seen it in a certain extent. Young players, talented players, but competing at the top of the game. Having the fans to compete at the top of the game. To win trophies and the stuff. They spoke about the culture, spoke about the environment, spoke about bringing a lot of what I did at Brighton to Chelsea, but at a higher level. So, and changing a culture from an owner, and then again, I think I must sort of underestimated, okay, culture, just because the owner goes, there's still culture around expectation of Chelsea. You know what's happened 25 years. It's the results haven't gone very well in a relatively short period of time. Pressure's built quickly, and the owners pressed the button, and their manager's been ejected soon. That's essentially what has to happen at Chelsea for 25 years and won well. So just because the owners are gone, there's still cultural expectation of how that was. And again, as at the time, we weren't winning as much as we should have done. And the Chelsea expect over there. And that's it from Coach Freddy Graham Potter talking about a lot of things. Now, for me, I've analyzed Chelsea for a very long time. I saw Graham Potter. And I remember at the time, I told people that there wasn't a need for a rush to sack Graham Potter. Yes, a lot of people made it look like Graham Potter was just the problem. But like he said, after Frank Lampard, after Mauricio Pochettino, Frank Lampard, Mauricio Pochettino, you realize that still Chelsea struggled to an extent. Maybe all of them were not top coaches. Maybe all of them were not the best coaches. But I think that given the kind of injuries that's going on around the world in terms of players and whatnot, One of the things that Todd Boehly and Baghdad Eghbali did that was smart was to make sure say they get players, they get a depth of the squad sorted. Say on better a lot of quality all across the field of play. One of the areas that Chelsea still struggle in terms of quality and depth or a centre back area, because you can't really put your trust in Obitse Axel Resasi. Benoit Belachile performance number be doom so. Today he plays well, the next day he doesn't play well. And all of these things are a little bit of a worry. But then take the midfield area. Chelsea player Andres Santos is at Strasbourg, and yesterday, not the captain of the side, excellent player. There's Leslie Gochuku doing very well for Southampton. There's already in the middle of the park Enzo Fernandez, Moise Caicedo, Romeo Lavia. All of these very quality players in every facet of the game, on and off the ball. Aggressive in winning draws, the passing ability, the technical ability to control games now. They have got a lot of quality in that regard, and I think that's something that Todd Boehly and Baghdad Eghbali did a very good job on. And then of course Enzo Maresca has really benefited. But for me, the biggest or the best decisions that Chelsea are making in recent times has been the appointment of Enzo Maresca. See, let me compare Enzo Maresca to Graham Potter in terms of temperament. You see that clearly. Graham Potter did not have the charisma to leave a club like Chelsea. And he is so much of a nice guy. Consistently, Graham Potter wanted to please certain people and thereby decided to play them even when it didn't really fit. But look at Enzo Maresca. There were times where this season, when you have Romeo Lavia, up a physicality, then he drops Chelsea's most expensive midfielder in Enzo Fernandez. Then brings in almost 45 million, almost like times 3. Divided by 3, the cost of Enzo Fernandez and Romeo Lavia, throws Romeo Lavia into the game. Then Romeo succeeds and consistently plays Romeo Lavia in there whilst managing Enzo Fernandez. In a time when he feels that he has gotten what he wants to see from Enzo Fernandez, goes to Enzo, then starts to play Enzo, then Enzo also begins to perform well. And I think that if you look at the difference in charisma of the two coaches, you look at the approach of Enzo Maresca, how he meets the press, how straightforward he is, how honest he is, how brutal he is in his decision making. I think it is the singular most important decision that Todd Boehly and Baghdad Eghbali have taken. Now, look at the English Premier League table. In fact, for a lot of pundits and then a lot of bookmakers, that few games like a Chelsea before the international break ended this month in November now, it should have been a pressure cooker moment that probably puts Chelsea in an extra precarious situation. But I know Enzo Maresca handled me, and he handled all of that. But handled the media. I remember at some point in time, on babies and so on to say Todd Boehly in Baghdad Eghbali with issues being near the other day. So Sani Man, it doesn't affect him. Not say, oh, he doesn't care about Sani Man. His focus is on what's on the field of play. So also results on the team results on the field of player. Nobody will talk about Baghdad Eghbali, nee, Todd Boehly or no issues, whether it is true or not true. People will be talking about Obama, watch 5, watch 6. We actually, those are the things that people are particularly interested in. The main conversation of football is on the field of play. It's on the tactics, it's on the wins, it's on the goals, it's on the celebrations. And important for players and then the fans. The things that happen in the background stuff, the results are coming, nobody cares. It is only echoed and re-echoed when results aren't coming on the field of play. Then we read meanings into it by saying, okay, I affected team. And that was excellent management of the media room for a manager like that. In fact, there were times where Mauricio Pochettino comes into the press conference and you can tell that he's not in tandem with the sporting directors and the owners. You can tell that they're putting some pressure on him, and then he wants them to clearly come out and say he's their man. And I said, yeah, he's their man, and then they will support him and stuff like that. But they were not coming. And it was really, really affecting Mauricio Pochettino. Again, the fact that he wasn't a fluent English speaker. Yes, Enzo Maresca is also not a fluent English speaker. in the context of where he's from as an Italian, and also having grown certain parts, Stoke, and then later, of course, Sevilla, Spanish La Liga, but really, you can tell, or a command of the language and really gets what he wants in there. So for me, Enzo Maresca has been super important, and for me, the most important purchase, and as a singular decision as sporting directors now, and they have earned a lot of money. In the last few days, people close to Cobham, Minya Rahman Osman Moebin Komo, say Elusa said at Cobham, they believe say Enzo Maresca should be there for the longest time. He should be there for 10 years because how much you need They like how he's working. And Enzo Maresca and Ibejin Kwana, they want to have him for a very long time. I mean, you can't really tell what tomorrow will bring to you, even in your personal life, let alone an organization like Chelsea. But I think that as it stands now, the job Maresca has done has been super. Like I said this morning, it is too early for Chelsea to be thinking about winning the Champions League, winning the EPL, winning Sadio Mane. It's the first season. Get over the first target, get into it, top 4, top 3, get a job done. Then next season thereabout, Chelsea will set realistic target. This season, the Chelsea trophy, it's a good one, and it's going to be a major boost to the ball in the Baghdad Bali, because the men's team, no sense of fire, NJ trophy there, and this is going to probably be a first trophy. The Conference League is there, it's up for grabs. Since Fiorentina will make it tough, but Chelsea really can go on and then win the Conference League and make sure Selma celebrating some laurels. Today's edition, all 3 of them, will come your way with 3 different editions of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So I want to subscribe to the channel now. The show, go back, subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. In notification turn, and make sure you do choose all and share the link as well. Until then, we'll see you